What's up YouTube, Card Boss here, where we talk about cards, money, investing. Today's video, I'm sharing 3 tips for new investors who are coming into the Marvel card world that's basically investing on a relatively small budget of, let's say, $1,000. So before we begin, I just want to emphasize that Marvel is all about the characters, right? So it's very important that before you choose to invest in anything Marvel, you want to be focusing on the main characters, right? The Spider-Man, Wolverine, Deadpool, Captain America, Iron Man, or to go further down, characters that perhaps at some point appear in the MCU or some in the silver screen as well. So these are the kind of like the safe characters for you to invest in. If you like certain characters, because of the art or the personality and whatnot, yeah, that's fine. But when you talk about trying to make a profit, you generally want to stick to the main guys. All right, let's move on to the 3 tips that I have. Number 1, you want to spread your budget. Not let's say you got $1,000. You don't want to all just bang on 1 card or 2 cards, right? You want to spread it relatively wide to cast a bigger net. And by spreading, I don't mean spread evenly. It's not like buy $20, $50 cards or something like that. You can actually take a position on a bigger card, let's say 1 $200 card, and maybe 3 $100 cards, and then spread the rest among 10 $50 cards or something along those lines, right? So go with a variety of cards. Don't be afraid of putting just a couple of $100 on one big card if you feel very confident, so as long that you satisfy the character criteria that I mentioned earlier. Second tip, focus on inserts or number parallels. I mean, you guys are probably familiar with number parallels. Now, as for inserts, right, there are a lot of inserts, and I know the famous ones like PMG and Jambalaya. These could be out of your budget, but what I'm talking about is the relatively small and underpriced inserts, such as the 1990 MU holograms, right? Or even maybe the 1992 MU holograms, whereby you have a Wolverine and Venom, and it's 1990, you got Cosmic Spider-Man, you got Wolverine, you got Silver Surfer, and these guys come priced pretty well, under $30, I would say. So there are a lot of upside to it, which I'm going to explain in the next tip. Other inserts, I would look at maybe, let's say, the 2013 Flair Retro that's not named PMG or Jambalaya. And of course, the recent video that I did on Marvel TI. There are other inserts as well which are underpriced, such as Ultra Stars, Intimidation Nation, or even Hardware. And I believe a Hardware Thor, right, who is the main character from MCU, just ended today for under $100. Or even there's a Black Widow, I think, that went for below 60. So there are still inserts out there. They are relatively low in terms of pricing, which can be have some opportunity for you to buy in, which then all leads me to my third point, whereby you want to consider grading. Now, for new investors coming in, it can be a bit intimidating to do for grading because it's additional fees on top. You're not very sure what to do and stuff like that. But the good news is, because you're investing in smaller cards, because you're on a budget, right, you can actually afford to make some mistakes in terms of grading, and you're getting a lot of experience by grading smaller cards. Yes, the timing for value services like PSA doesn't offer value at the moment, but when it does, maybe in a couple of months time, you send it in, you probably have to wait for like maybe 12 to 18 months. But as you go along, you kind of sharpen your grading skills, which eventually you will then level up to grade higher end cards. Whereas compared to somebody who is not starting on a budget, who just want to dive into Marvel and put in like hundreds of dollars and $1,000 on a single card, and then sending it to PSA for the express order and coming back a PSA 6 or 7, that's when a lot of mistakes will happen and you will lose a lot of money. So starting out with a budget has its perks, because you could learn the ropes of grading at the same time, which is exactly the path that I took, and that's where you can actually improve and get a lot of value down the line. So that was basically my 3 quick tips for you guys. I hope you guys find this useful. And if you guys have any more questions, or you have any more things that you want me to find out in terms of tips for investing, do shout out in the comments below. In the meantime, do like and subscribe, and follow my channel for future content. Thanks for watching, guys. Card Boss out.